Welcome to FilmRiot Mondays. Before we jump into it, I just wanted to let you guys know that we shifted some things in the rules for the giveaway. So if you have not seen the video that we posted the other day, make sure you watch it right here because we have shifted some major stuff. So definitely check that out. Also, our new short film Ghost House comes out on Wednesday. Cinematography was done by Ryan Booth. The major VFX were done by Andrew Kramer. Really excited to put that one out. Comes out at 1 p.m. CST on Wednesday. So make sure you look out for that. And now let's get into some questions. In your BTS video for Chainsaw, you mentioned that you were running far behind in schedule. In what ways did this affect your overall production? Are you happy with the end result? Have ya? Yeah, by the time we got to the backyard, we were about 2 hours behind because we were in the street making sure we got that punchline right. So I made sure to make that must-have and needs list and even dialed back my must-have list just to make sure we could make the night because I was a little concerned about that. But because Chris Adams lit the scene in a way that we really didn't have to change much lighting at all as we shot, we moved so fast that I ended up getting my entire shot list and even made up a few shots. So we definitely got everything that I was wanting to get and then some. So it ended up being what I was hoping for in the end. And if you get the digital download pack, I actually have a animatic versus final film comparison, and you'll see that the animatic is actually very close to what we finally ended up with. In a short like Chainsaw, where there isn't really any actor directing to do, what does the director do since there is cinematographer already? There was tons of directing of my actors and directing of my cinematographer as well. The cinematographer is dialing in the lighting and handling the camera, but I'm directing him on where we want to put the camera, what the camera is going to do, and we're collaborating with that heavily, but just like the actor is in charge of his performance, but I'm helping him dial that in. The cinematographer is in charge of the look, and I'm helping him dial that in. That's the role of the director, is just to make sure everybody's on the same page and that we're on one unified vision and making the best decisions possible for the film. So a lot of times it's just moving the camera a little bit left, right, up, or down to get the framing exactly what I want, to make sure that we're giving the experience to the audience in the end. And with the actors, in a thing like this where it's just physical, when you're relaying an idea about a character without saying a word, that's a lot more specific than being able to say I'm mad. Just being able to do that, especially with my other actor being behind the mask, there's a lot that goes into that. So there was a ton of direction, maybe more so in Chainsaw than there is even in the short film we have coming. Hey guys, love Chainsaw. Was wondering, what is the planning process behind making a short like this in regards to coming up with the right concept and wrangling a crew that are all excited about the project? Thanks. As far as the concept goes, I have talked about this on the show before, but it's about just getting that initial seed of an idea and then nurturing that to become what it's ultimately going to become. And that sometimes for me is like the punchline. For instance, with this, it was that general punchline that was the core of the idea, and I built on top of that. Sometimes it's just a scene. Wouldn't it be cool if in this moment this happens? Okay, well, what's that movie like? Sometimes it's a character. So it always depends. It can fluctuate with how I develop something. But with this specifically, not to talk about the digital download pack again, but in the digital download pack, I have my first draft of the script and our shooting script. The first draft was actually like 5 pages and very, very different than what it ended up being. There were several cast members, not just the 2, and it was a lot longer, obviously, but it still had the exact same punchline. And through getting some notes from friends, I realized that I could just trim all that fat and get right to the punchline, because really, this is just like a Key and Peele sketch. It's just a joke. It's not this really long, in-depth story. We had that conflict there to drive everything forward, of course, and help the joke, but more than anything else, it's really just a really fun sketch. So it helped me dial that in. As far as cast and crew, that's something that I've just developed over time, just by networking, meeting people, getting suggestions from people that I know and work with that I trust, for other people, bringing them on, seeing how we fit. It's like a trial and error thing, just slowly but surely gathering together what is the crew I try to work with every time. Big hug to all the filmmakers out there. Ryan, gotta love that handheld feeling of yours. Any tips on that subject? Also, what's your opinion on adding a slight camera shake in post? Peace, love, and good happiness stuff. As far as doing it in post, I've done it plenty of times when I have to. But I am of the opinion of do as little in post as you possibly can. Try to get everything in camera if you can. As far as getting better at handheld work, I think the best thing that you can do, and something that I always did, was constantly be shooting. And I'm not even talking about short films. I'm talking about if you have a party, a family party, hanging out with friends, whatever, have a camera with you and just be filming. Follow what people are doing. Try to anticipate what they're gonna do next just based off their body language. That's gonna make you a really good camera operator, because once you're following an actor's performance, you're going to start nailing it because you're going to be anticipating their movements. And that only comes with practice. So that's what I would do. Last question, will there be actual blood in your second Bloodtober short, Ghost House? No, this is a bloodless Bloodtober, funny enough. But I mean, Bloodtober doesn't mean it's going to be bloody every time. Bloodtober is just what we call our Halloween event. We started calling that in the beginning because initially it was buckets of blood, but it's not going to be that every year. It's not just about blood, it's about everything Halloween. So ghosts and goblins and Josh, you know, all of it. If you're a budding filmmaker, entrepreneur, innovator, domain.com is the place to go when that next idea hits you. I've said it a million times, the available list of domain extensions is growing, but you now have the opportunity to name your site and build your brands in ways that was never before possible. You can choose from a growing list of 400 plus domain name extensions like .com, .org, .design, and .club. And to give you some love, they're giving you 25% off their already affordable prices when you buy domain names, web hosting, and email. Just use the coupon code FilmRiot at checkout. And when you think domain names, think domain.com. So that's it for today, which means it's time for my suggestion of the week, which is a short film called Black Swell. It is very short and really well done. I really dug the pacing on this one, so check it out right here. Until next week, don't forget to write, shoot, edit, repeat.